Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to go over the market flow analyzer. This is probably one of my more complicated files to use. And by that it really does a lot of things, and it can be confusing for a lot of new users. So I want to go over how to use this. So first of all, this file does have some macros, and you'll have to unblock this file before you can use them. So to do that, what you're going to do is just right click on the file, come over to properties, and at the bottom right here, there's going to be a checkbox that will say unblock, and you only have to do this to use the macros. It will still pull data from Thinkscript without doing that, so you can try it out beforehand before you unblock it if you want to. But that is how you unblock it. So in the file, and I also have like an info and help section here. It is a little bit old, but it does walk you through some of the basic features this file has. I do need to update it. I built this file back in probably about 6 or 7 months ago. I want to say June or July of 25, and right now it's January of 26. But I'm just going to walk you through just a couple of basic things. So first of all, in the data tab here, that basically all of our data that is streaming from Thinkscript is all going to be in this tab. And the only cells that you actually really need to edit or mess with are going to be these in yellow right here. So for the underlying, we have, SPY. If you want to do the SPX daily options, that is SPXW. And then you want the strike expiration. The strike expiration is actually going to be in a month, day, and year format. So this would actually be August 1st of 2025. And the reason I have that expiration selected today in 2026 is because I was using the on-demand feature in Thinkscript just to stream in some old data. Because it is Saturday, I can't stream in anything. And I just want to show you how it looks after it has streamed in some data. As far as the lowest strike here, I do have a helper column listed right here in this light blue color. And what you'll do is you'll actually enter this same value in right here. Obviously, it has changed since I had started recording, but that would just give you the ideal strike. And what this does, when you enter in that strike, it's basically going to place the data set so the at the money strikes are going to be kind of in the middle of the data set here. So our lowest strike we can see is at the top here at 576, and it goes all the way to 676. We can collect data for 100 strikes. Strike width is just, you're going to set that to whatever you're viewing. So the SPY has strikes in roughly $1 increments. If you wanted to do SPX, you would do $5 increments. Something like the NQ, the NASDAQ, you could do $10 increments. And then I have added in just the multiple for calculating gamma exposure, delta exposure, all that. And basically that's just the contract multiplier of, say, 100. I did make this so you could change it, because since we are doing futures, you may want to change that. So I just leave it at 100. I don't really change it, but it is there if you did want to change that. We also have some buttons here, and once again, these buttons are going to be for those macros. So these two buttons right here actually control the gamma exposure flow and the gamma exposure heat maps. And basically these are default 1 minute they update. And what this is doing, it's actually taking the data from the data tab, and it is taking these values right here and basically plotting them every minute over time. So we're getting like a historical view of kind of what has happened throughout the day. And this is only about 30 minutes of data. And the gamma exposure flow, that is basically just gamma exposure calculated using volume. And then gamma exposure is the gamma exposure calculated using open interest. A number of months back, some people asked me if I could calculate it using both volume and open interest. So that is the reason for that. And to start and stop these, basically you just use the start and stop buttons here in this data tab to start and stop those. When you start it, it will automatically clear all this data for both of these sheets, and then stopping it obviously just stops it. We have another sheet that logs data, and that is going to be this flow log sheet right here. And you can actually change the update frequency of this sheet. It'll work down to 2-second update frequency. I normally leave it on 60 seconds. I just have it set to 10 seconds for this video because I wanted to log some data very quickly on the SPY. And then we also have some conditional formatting here as well in some of these rows, just to let you know. And basically what this is doing is it is logging the majority of the data from this data folder here. So it's logging basically volume, not really open interest because it doesn't change, but we're logging the delta exposure and whatnot from this area. We're also logging all of our gamma exposure columns as well. And that is what we're doing right here. And then I also have all of this stuff plotted as charts as well. So we have the delta flow, delta exposure, gamma exposure flow, and gamma exposure. And you know, once again, when you see flow, that is just calculated using volume instead of open interest. We also have option flow or option volume right here. And then we have the cumulative option volume listed right here as well. One thing I have done is I have tried to color coordinate most of these charts. So we can see that the call side is green, the put side is red, the net is going to be blue, and then the underlying last price is in yellow. And that's going to be for all 4 of these charts. It's going to have a variation of that color. And then as far as the option volume, basically green is calls, red is puts. You know, right here we have the active call and active put. So it's logging this, you know, right now every 10 seconds, or it was. And that is just telling you the active call and put is going to be the strike that received the most volume in that log. So the change is going to be the total change for all calls. And this is going to be the strike that had the highest active change. So even though we see 218 right here, that doesn't mean that this 630 call had 218 volume. That just means that all calls in our data set changed by 218 volume. And we can actually go into the volume log here and it will show all of that. And I've actually scrolled down to that area. So the 630 strike here actually had a change of 100 volume. The 622 had a change of 60. And then the 620 had a change of 50. And these are going to be the actual change in total volume. Total delta is what that's called, I guess you could say. And then if I scroll all the way to the top, you know, we have our call volume changes right here. This is the put volume change. And I'm not really doing a lot with this data at the moment, other than just logging the changes in volume. I can actually do a lot more with this data. I just need to build it out, really, just need time to do that. But that shows how this flow log works right here. And if I didn't say it, you do have a start and stop button right here, and then the clear data button right here, and that will clear all of this data. And this clear data button will clear the data from this flow log sheet. It will also clear everything from the volume log sheet right here. And then we have the PCR sheet, which is basically the put call ratio, and it will clear all of this data from the put call ratio. And once again, the start stop button starts the data logging for all 3 of these sheets. As far as the put call ratio sheet goes, basically this is just logging the put call ratio of a number of strikes around the at the money. So the PCR5 is basically the put call ratio of the 5 strikes around the at the money strike. So basically what we have is we have the at the money strike, that is going to be 1. It's going to log the put call ratio for it. It's going to log it for 2 strikes above it and 2 strikes below it, giving us 5 strikes. The same thing goes for the 9, the 21, the 49, and then all. So the put call ratio of all is going to be our entire 100 strike data set. And that's how that's going to work as far as that logging goes. We also have a few charts here that I've added. I haven't actually updated these in a while. If you do right click on a chart, you can go select data and it'll give you a few things that you can view here. Some of these charts show more data than others. Let's see here. So we can actually view a lot more things on this chart right here if you want to view them, because we are logging all this data. Now these charts are just going to be real time at this moment. Is what that's going to show you. But that's how some of these charts work. Like I say, I haven't really updated these charts in a while. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to go over. I do realize I'm going over this kind of quickly. I guess that's basically it. If you have any questions, let me know in the Discord. I'll do my best to try to answer this. But I do realize this sheet can be kind of overwhelming to view at first. And I am working on more of an updated sheet that's going to do all this stuff that I have been sharing. But anyway, I just wanted to go over kind of how this sheet works. And one thing I forgot. If we scroll over to the far right here, this actually will calculate basically our levels. So we have the gamma exposure levels, the top 3 levels for both the call and the put, as well as the volume levels. So how this works, this will, we have a couple of buttons here. We have the start and stop and then manual. If we hit start, basically what that's going to do is it is going to copy these levels here once every 15 minutes on the hour. And what you can do, I'm just going to hit the manual button for now. And what it's going to do, it's actually going to create a Thinkscript for Thinkorswim that is going to have all these levels listed on a chart. So I'll pull up Thinkorswim right now. If I go to Studies, Edit Studies, and I've actually already got it added in. But to add this, what you'll do is you can just go to Create, and it's going to pull up a new study. We can just Control V, which is paste, and it's going to paste in all this code. It's basically going to give us a Thinkorswim indicator. We'll hit OK, and then hit Apply, and then it's going to add all of these levels to our chart. We'll hit Apply and OK. And the reason they're so far down here is because I was actually doing this. It's showing our levels from, at the time, August. So the levels are way off right now, but that is the reason. Just because I was logging this in August. So my sheet is basically set up for the August time frame there, because I still have August set in. But anyway, what that will do is it will post those levels in Thinkorswim. You can go into Studies and Edit Studies, click the gear icon right here, and you can choose if you want to show the gamma exposure levels or the volume levels, and it's going to show you those top 3 levels. And like I say, when you click the manual button, it's going to copy this code one time for you. If you click the start button, let me scroll back over. If you click the start button, what it's going to do, it's going to copy and paste those levels basically every hour, or I'm sorry, every 15 minutes. It'll copy that info over, and that's how that will work. But once again, the market is closed right now, and I'm pulling up an expiration that was 4 months ago. So that's why those levels are off. Actually, we can try and set this to, we'll try 120 of 26. Let's see if this is going to work. We'll do 642. And let me hit stop. Okay. I will hit manual, and that's going to give us what should be hopefully the correct levels. Let's go back to Thinkorswim. We'll go to Studies, Edit Studies. I'm going to hit Control A to select all, delete, Control V, that's going to copy everything back in, hit Apply and OK. And now we can see it has placed those levels on the chart where it actually should be. And it looks kind of like that. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. Maybe shows you how to use the sheet, because I do understand kind of how complicated it is, especially as someone that's opening it up and viewing it for the first time. But anyway, hopefully if you found this helpful, thanks for watching. Have a great day and bye.